In mind, I'm going to introduce our next super storyteller. I just made that up. I like that, super storyteller. I'm, I'm going to introduce our next super storyteller, my very dear friend, Lee Huang.
It's okay with you, I'm going to use my notes, because I'm a little nervous. I didn't have a chance to really practice. One of the most profound talks that I ever had with my kids about race, really about anything, happened in a local takeout Pizza Hut that couldn't have been any bigger than my kitchen. My wife and I had just gotten back from Oklahoma City. We have 3 children, they're all adopted. Jada is from China, Aaron is from Taiwan, and Asher, our first newborn, and our first African-American baby, from OKC. It was April 2015, and all over CNN was the social unrest in Baltimore around the death of Freddie Gray. My kids were 9 and 7 at the time. They don't watch much TV, and so they were mesmerized by these images. They asked me what had happened. I told them how Freddie Gray had died of spinal cord injuries sustained in the back of a police wagon that was driven recklessly for the express purpose of knocking its passenger around. I told them that a lot of young black men get harassed, assaulted, and even murdered by law enforcement. And as I mentioned, it was a small Pizza Hut. It wasn't long before others joined in, whether workers or customers. Folks were asking questions, offering opinions, stating facts. And my 2 older kids took in all this chatter, and then they looked at me.
Take your time.
They looked at me and they said, what's going to happen to Asher?
Oh.
They said, what's going to happen to Asher when he gets older? I'm sorry. I get emotional telling this story for a number of reasons. First, my older kids, they've had black teachers, they've had black friends, black neighbors. But less than a day into having a black baby brother, they were already processing national news of police brutality, not as a out there sort of event, but as a matter of family importance. My wife and I prayed a lot before we decided to adopt an African-American child. And one of the things that we hoped for was that it would help our other kids to understand and appreciate the experience of being black in America. And that conversation really confirmed for me that we had done the right thing. The second reason I get emotional about this story is that I don't have a good answer to my kid's question. What's going to happen to Asher when he gets older? What's going to happen is that my wife and I are going to have the talk with him and otherwise prepare him to avoid trouble. But that no matter what we do and no matter how he turns out, he is at risk of being hurt or worse just because of the color of his skin. And that infuriates me and it saddens me, and as a parent it scares the hell out of me. I'll close by saying that my emotion also comes from the fact that this story exposes for me my own privilege and ignorance. What I took for granted, what my kids now know that they cannot take for granted, is what I have to worry over Asher about, which is, will he survive the confrontation with law enforcement? When I choke up telling this story to people, some people are sympathetic, but I know others are thinking, why did it take having an African-American child to get upset about how black people are treated in this country? I don't have a good answer to that. I knew intellectually through friends and colleagues about the talk, but my privilege and my ignorance kept me from processing the injustice and the danger of it all at a more personal level, for which I am truly ashamed. But I have learned, and I'm learning. I believe that part of learning and growing is putting yourself in new places, which adopting an African-American child is definitely that. And so is speaking to you tonight. I said yes because Jamie Brunson is wonderful and I would do just about anything for you. But I also said yes because I want to do better. And so thank you for helping me do